Once upon a time, in an age when the roads were dusty and the sun rained without mercy, four weary wanderers arrived at a small village. They were beggars, strangers to one another until that very day. Yet circumstance and hunger bound them together like brothers. Each man carried the burden of a different tongue. One spoke Persian, one Turkish, one Arabic, and the fourth was a Greek from the lands of Rome. Their words clashed like mismatched stones, but through broken speech, hand gestures, and patient smiles, they found a way to understand. When the Persian wanted to speak of water, he cupped his hands and mimed drinking. Ab, he said firmly. The Arab raised his hand. Ma. The Turk nodded. Su. The Roman murmured with effort. Haidor. And so they taught one another, piece by piece, language by language, building a fragile bridge across the abyss of difference. The days were long, for it was the height of summer. Heat draped itself over the village like a heavy cloak, and the four men, lonely and poor, found comfort in each other's company. Every afternoon, when the hour of rest arrived, they would gather under a tree, spread out whatever crumbs they had, and share their food. They would eat, converse in their halting mixture of words and signs, laugh at their misunderstandings, and then part ways until the next day. One such day, when they spread their humble cloth upon the ground, each man revealed the same meager treasure, a piece of coarse bread. No cheese, no fruit, no broth, just dry bread, stale at the edges. The Persian sighed and said, "We are not ungrateful. Bread itself is a blessing. Yet, I confess, dry bread sticks in my throat. Were there but a handful of grapes to soften it, the meal would be sweeter. Alas, I have no coin." The others echoed him. They too were penniless. In this poor village, bread and water was sometimes given to beggars, but nothing finer. So they chewed reluctantly, mouths dry, when fate intervened. A traveler passed by and noticed their pitiful supper. His heart softened, and without a word, he reached into his robe, tossed a silver coin onto their cloth, and walked away. The four beggars fell silent, staring at the glimmering coin as though it were a fallen star. Then they burst into gratitude, lifting their hands in prayer for the stranger's kindness. The Persian spoke first. "Friends, this is a gift for all of us. Let one of us take the coin and buy grapes. With bread and grapes, our hunger will be eased." But at this, confusion arose. The Arab frowned. "Grapes? No, no, my friend, that will not do. What I long for is ineb, sweet, juicy ineb. That is what we should buy." The Turk shook his head. "Always Arab foods with you. But no, with this coin we must buy uzum. That is the true nourishment for a hot day." The Roman lifted his chin proudly. "I cannot eat your Turkish fare. The best choice is stafili. You must trust me, nothing is finer." The Persian grew stubborn. "Enough of this. Grapes are not Persian alone. They belong to every land. But I am the eldest, and tradition says we should heed the elder's word. Grapes it shall be." The Arab's eyes flashed. "Elder? You may be older in years, but wisdom is mine, and wisdom does not bow to tyranny. I will not yield, for I crave inab, not your grapes." The Turk clenched his fists. "Stop this quarrel of Arab and Ajam. I am the strongest among us, and I will not be bullied. I said uzum, and if it is not uzum, then I eat nothing." The Roman rose to his feet. "And am I a shadow then? Am I nothing? If my voice counts for naught, why should I remain here at all? I say stafili, and I will not be silenced." Their voices rose like a storm. Bread lay forgotten. The silver coin gleamed on the cloth, and the air filled with the sound of anger. It was then that an old man, stooped yet dignified, came upon them. He leaned on his staff and regarded their shouting with a smile. "What is this commotion, my sons?" he asked. "Why such thunder in the heat of day?" The four poured out their grievances, each insisting on his desire. One wanted grapes, one inab, one uzum, one stafili. The old man laughed, a deep, hearty laugh that startled them. "I do not mock," he said. "I laugh because no force is needed here. Your quarrel is a quarrel of words. Grapes, inab, uzum, stafili, are these not all the same? You fight as though your desires were different, yet all of you crave the same fruit." Shame fell upon the four beggars like a veil. Their anger melted into laughter, for they saw the foolishness of it. The old man nodded. "Remember this lesson well. Most quarrels in the world are quarrels of grapes. Men raise their voices, divide their nations, and wage wars, not knowing that their hearts all long for the same sweetness. Only their words, their customs, their wrappings differ. Learn one another's tongues, seek understanding, and you will discover unity where once there seemed division." And so they went, all four, to the market. Together they bought a cluster of green grapes, bursting with juice. They washed them in cool water, returned to their shady tree, and shared them with their bread. Never had a meal tasted so sweet, for it was flavored not only with fruit, but with wisdom. From that day forward, they made a vow to learn more of one another's languages, so that no such quarrel would ever divide them again. Each object they saw, each tool or creature or tree, they named in four tongues. And thus, in their laughter and learning, the world's first illustrated language primer was born, not in the halls of scholars, but in the hands of four beggars who once quarreled over grapes. And so the story lingers through time, whispering its lesson, that most conflicts are but grape quarrels, born of ignorance, not of true difference. And he who learns to see through names into the heart of things finds that humanity's desires are one and the same. Thank you, dear listener, for joining me in this story. I hope its wisdom touched your heart, just as it has traveled across centuries to reach us today. If you enjoyed this tale, please remember to like, share, and subscribe so that more timeless stories may find their way to you.